Hi, I'm Jess, and I'm an environmental scientist working full-time as a parent, but now also suddenly a homeschool parent. We're all going through this difficult time, and I thought I'd put together some projects that could help complement or supplement the work that your kiddos are doing through their school system if they're not at school right now. As a working parent, I have to get my work done. I put together some extra things that will help make it a little more rounded and include social studies and science and some social emotional learning. To begin with, I thought I'd mention that I develop a schedule every Sunday before the beginning of the week, so I can plan out what we're doing and she doesn't get bored and I don't go crazy, and we have something to look to when she completes an activity. So I try to spell out some movement in there, and I try to include some free time, but then also including the computer programs that the school provides, and some worksheets here and there, but I don't want it to all be worksheets and all computer programs. So I try to include one extra fun activity a day. So one of the ones I put together for last week was a noun, verb, adjective, and instead of just writing out simple a list, I tried to make it a bit more fun and cut out shapes, and got one of my daughter's favorite books and just told her to flip to a page and start reading a sentence, and then if she found a word that was a noun, a naming word, she could write that down, and then when she found an action word, a verb, write that down, and a describing word, an adjective, write that down. And then she had a big collection of words, and then she was able to stick it on here. So just making that one a little more fun. Another one we did where I'm building off what the schools already do with the 5-finger retell. Instead of just telling her to read a book and tell me about the setting, characters, and what happens at the beginning, middle, and end, I made it into a hand shape so she can then write on each finger what a sentence about the book in those groupings. I was proud of this one. What I did was I got a box and I went around the house on Sunday and found things of different sizes, and I had kind of a size range in mind. Things that were between 0 and 2 inches, 2 and 4 inches, 4 and 6 inches, and greater than 6 inches. They're arbitrary. You can choose whatever you want. But I had a collection of items in those groups that I put in the box, and her activity was to use a ruler to measure out everything and tally up how many items were in each size grouping. And then from there, she made a graph for the frequency or the number of items that were in each size group. And that activity probably took about 30 minutes. So that's a good way to use up some time. And then she's working on graphing and measurements. All right, so one way I thought about building off the idea of the book report is to actually make little booklets for her, just scrap paper that I had around, made a booklet, and I had a question on each page. So I wrote the question, what are the main characters? Where does the story take place? What happened at the beginning? In this one we did the middle and end. And then I'll just hold on that last page for a second. She actually did 2 books, frozen books, and so similar things for most of the pages, but then the very last question in each of the booklets, one of them was, how are the 2 books similar? And another question was, how are the 2 books different? So she had to really kind of compare and contrast. So just adding a little bit more to the typical book review task that they all do at school. I wanted to also add in something fun and make her think about what's important to her. So this was a super easy one. I just got a piece of paper and I told her to draw or write, or she likes doing things in 3D. So things that are important to her. And this one also uses up quite a bit of time. This one took about maybe 45 minutes actually. So And it's really cute at the end when they come and they tell you what's important to them, because of course they're going to include mum and dad and their friends and their best friends and art and all the things they love. So it's really sweet as well. But they do like doing those types of things. So I think this one it's a good break between the reading and writing and math. And then another one that's kind of on the social emotional side of things, a super easy one, not on the same day as the last one, try to break it up a little bit, but this one is just things I love about myself. And so they get to think about themselves and what they like and their feelings and what they're good at. So anyway, this is also really sweet, and they enjoy doing it. So a good one to throw in there to break up the day. So that's what I have for this time around. I'll be back next week with another set of activities to supplement or complement what the schools are providing. And I thought I'd end with this one. This is quite fun. So we're all spending so much time together now, and I think by the end of the day at dinner or after dinner, we kind of want to be done with each other. But or maybe we just don't really have any more to talk about. So we just spur of the moment decided to make a game of charades, and this has lasted a week already. But my daughter and I each got a piece of paper and tore it into strips, and we wrote down things for charades. So like playing hide and seek or painting or things like that. And so after dinner, that's just something we can do as a family to kind of keep things light after spending the day together. Well, that's it for this week. Good luck with everything. Feel free to subscribe or share if you think it can be helpful to someone else. And add comments if you'd like, add some ideas. We are all in this together.